This is ABC Action News.
Now at 11, a local doctor's son arrested for murder, accused of tricking his pregnant girlfriend into taking an abortion pill. Good evening, I'm Jamison Euler.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. It's an ABC Action News exclusive. That woman opens up about how she says the man once considered the love of her life betrayed her, and authorities say killed their unborn child. Our Jaqueline Ingles picks up the details from there. Jaqueline?
This woman was 6 weeks along in what should have been one of the happiest times in her life, and that's when FBI agents say her boyfriend unleashed his sinister plan.
He was my everything and more.
Remy Lee calls 28-year-old John Weldon the love of her life. Thinking wedding bells were in their future, Remy says learning she was pregnant back in February was elating.
Every woman dreams of becoming a mom.
A dream the 26-year-old says was dashed when her Prince Charming tricked her into taking Cytotec, an abortion pill.
I was never going to do anything except go full term with it, and he did not want me to.
Weldon's father is an obstetrician. The next day, her boyfriend called with some bad news, saying her blood test showed she had a bacterial infection and would need amoxicillin, an antibiotic, to clear it up.
And he came over to my home with the pills that he had, the weapon of choice.
Remy says her boyfriend handed her this prescription bottle. The label says the pills were amoxicillin.
He had told me to keep taking them. I was supposed to take 3 a day for days.
According to this federal arrest affidavit, investigators hint there was something far more sinister going on, saying John swapped out the antibiotics with abortion pills, even scratching off any identifiers, and put a fake label on the bottle. Today, Weldon was arrested for murder.
I can't believe that someone did something so malicious to me, and not only to me, but to himself. That was our baby.
She woke up in a pool of blood Easter morning and went right to the hospital. Doctors told her baby's heart stopped beating. And when they looked at the pills she brought with her, they told her...
Everybody knew it wasn't amoxicillin. Medical professionals saw that it wasn't quite right.
Breaking news as we come on the air. The verdict is in. Just within the past 45 minutes, a jury found Jennifer Mee guilty of murder. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Ryan.
And I'm Brendan McLaughlin. Jamison has the night off. The so-called hiccup girl now faces life in prison. Our Jaqueline Ingles was inside the courtroom for the verdict and joins us live outside the courthouse with the very latest. Jaqueline?
Well, Brendan, in just the past half hour, we've seen a flurry of activity right here outside the courthouse as family members from both sides in this case stormed out, emotions running very high, a lot of tears being shed. But the most visibly shaken was Mee's mother. She was not able to make it back into the courtroom for the verdict. When she finally got there and walked in, all that she could see was that her daughter was crying hysterically and handcuffed.
We, the jury, finds as follows. Defendant in this case, defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged. So say we all.
Now you can see that Mee broke down right as that verdict was read. She was obviously hoping that the jury would convict her on a lesser charge, perhaps accessory to murder or manslaughter. Now, though, she'll spend the rest of her life behind bars for the murder of Shannon Griffin. Now, prosecutors told jurors today that even though Mee did not pull that trigger 3 years ago, she ultimately orchestrated Griffin's death and lured him to that robbery gone wrong. Tonight, I did speak with Griffin's mother, and she said that no matter what this verdict was going to be tonight, it will never bring back her son.
We've always wanted it to be about the victim, who is Shannon Griffin, and it's not about it's just, just too much right now because we are still grieving and we just wanted it to be about him.
It's been a long journey. It's been almost 3 years. It's been a struggle, and we're just really grateful to the state for pushing this through.
Our cameras were rolling as Mee's mother left the courtroom flanked by family members. You can see she was very upset. I tried asking her a few questions, but she did not want to talk. Again, Mee's mother did not make it back into the courtroom in time to hear the verdict. Instead, she found out from family members that her daughter will spend the rest of her life behind bars without the possibility of parole. Now, following Mee's mother was defense attorney John Trevina. He declined to comment on this case. Now, as for Mee, she has 30 days to appeal her conviction. We're live tonight in Pinellas County. Jaqueline Ingles, ABC Action News.
It's just a matter of time before something really bad happens there.
Teachers living in terror.
Tonight we're digging into claims of escalating violence at a local school that even has parents scared.
I get very emotional. It's my kid. It is my daughter.
Find out what happened when we took the concerns to school officials.
Live from the station taking action for you, this is ABC Action News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Woody Ryan.
And I'm Jamison Euler. Some teachers tell us violence like this has gotten so bad they are living in fear themselves. Our Jaqueline Ingles joins us with this story you'll see only on ABC Action News tonight. Jacqueline?
Tonight, Jamison, I spoke to teachers who work at Morgan Fitzgerald Middle School, and they tell me they are so upset and concerned about what's going on there, they're risking their jobs to talk to us. These Morgan Fitzgerald middle schoolers fighting terrifies this teacher.
It's just very unsettling going to your job and not knowing if you're going to come home that day and if you can keep kids safe.
They hope by talking it's a way to protect students, but they don't want to reveal their identity.
I've seen kids choked.
This teacher's calling the majority of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, quote, bloodthirsty animals, and says a half dozen fistfights break out on campus every day.
One wrong look in the wrong direction, and somebody's liable to hit her.
This mother tells us a boy has threatened to beat up her daughter so many times, she's kept her home from school 10 days over this past month.
And when I can't control her safety, then it leaves me very overwhelmed and frustrated.
A Pinellas Park officer is stationed at the school, and records show 18 reported batteries over the past 6 months, with dozens of fights. School leaders declined to talk on camera, but released this statement saying safety is a priority at Pinellas County schools, and the administrators and teachers at Morgan Fitzgerald Middle School work hard to provide a safe, productive learning environment for all students. But this teacher says their continued complaints to school leaders have fallen on deaf ears, even after teachers have been assaulted.
I've been hit before in fights.
Do you have any injuries from that?
Just a little blackened eye.
Now, I did reach out to other Bay Area middle schools to see how Morgan Fitzgerald stacks up in terms of assaults. I'm still waiting to hear back.
I wouldn't even want to see it happen to the girl who did it to me.
Now at 11, some parents are rejecting a local middle school's claims that their kids are safe. Good evening, I'm Jamison Euler.
And I'm Woody Ryan. Thanks for joining us. This comes after our story aired last night about parents and teachers claiming excessive violence there. Our Jaqueline Ingles joins us live in Largo with these new developments. Jacqueline?
Wendy, we first told you last night about the 18 batteries that occurred at this Largo Middle School over the past 6 months. Now, today, school officials responded, and what they said upset some parents even more.
The school hiding this to make them look good? What happened to me was brutal.
13-year-old Emily Cannon says she was beat up so badly by a fellow classmate last week, she had to be treated at the hospital for head injuries.
Said we will have our video cameras out. It should be in 3D and your blood should be in HD.
ABC Action News first brought allegations of rampant fistfights at Morgan Fitzgerald Middle School to your attention last night. You saw this YouTube video of 2 students fighting, not inside the middle school, but on district grounds at the high school across the street. Students say the fight happened right as school let out. One teacher at the school told us fights just like this one take place inside the school 7 to 8 times a day. This morning, the principal sent out this automated message to all parents.
You may have seen a news story regarding fights at Morgan Fitzgerald. Any incidents of inappropriate student behavior at school are addressed immediately.
The principal went on to tell parents the district strives to make the school safe. Emily's mom, who didn't want to show her face on camera, was upset by the principal's message.
I thought it was a joke. And I still haven't gotten a phone call back about Emily's assault.
A police report shows the girl who attacked Emily was suspended for 3 days, but is now back at school. Even more of these Morgan Fitzgerald parents went on to our Facebook page today to sound off about safety at the school. Now, police tell me that school surveillance did capture Emily's fight on camera. I did go ahead and put a request in for that, but was told it's part of an ongoing investigation.
On New at 11, a sip of champagne ends at the doctor's office when a woman accidentally swallows more than she anticipated. Our Jaqueline Ingles has that story.
What are the odds of this happening?
They say diamonds are forever. And this 1-carat diamond is giving an 80-year-old Tampa woman a forever story she's just not ready to put her face to. And the story begins with a flute of bubbly.
And I was not paying a whole lot of attention.
At the fundraiser Miriam was attending, a local jeweler placed fake diamonds in every champagne flute. But at the bottom of one flute, there was a real diamond worth $5,000. A diamond the lucky glass holder would get to take home.
With the first sip I had taken, I'd swallowed it.
Embarrassed, Miriam kept mum.
I just felt certain, well, they'll find the winner and I won't ever have to tell anybody.
Then came gem testing time.
When there was 400 glasses of champagne we had to test. And we finally get to the end and still no diamond showed up.
I said, oh gosh, now I have to tell them.
So she did.
And we go, no, there's no way.
Miriam had a date with her doctor the next day for what was to be a routine colonoscopy, just with some very specific instructions for the doctor.
And just be on the lookout for it in case.
Sure enough, her doctor found the elusive diamond.
We still had to determine if indeed that was the winning diamond.
She came back with the diamond in a bag, in a medical bag.
Hazardous bag. And the diamond is not even cleaned yet.
Miriam waited while the jeweler washed, steamed, and then tested the diamond. And it was the real deal.
Touchdown!
Despite the odd way this diamond made its way into Miriam's family, that's where she plans to keep it. Wendy?
He continually has his hand on his gun, and he keeps saying, step closer. He's just threatening all of us with his firearm, and he's going to shoot us.
The Zimmermans are in the middle of a divorce. In an interview with Good Morning America, Shelley claims George Zimmerman has a temper and is verbally abusive. Our Jaqueline Ingles is live at the scene now. Jaqueline?
We just pulled up here on Sprucewood Road in Lake Marion. I want to show you the scene here behind me. You can see this cul-de-sac has been blocked off by police officers. It's down on the left-hand side. It's hidden behind those trees. That's George Zimmerman's father-in-law's house. Now, we were told that police were called out here around 2 o'clock this afternoon by Shelley Zimmerman. That's George Zimmerman's estranged wife. It was just last week that she filed for divorce. Now, according to Shelley Zimmerman on a 911 call, George had become aggressive and physical with both her and her father, and at one point may have even pulled out a gun. Now, right now, George Zimmerman is being detained out here. The last we had heard, he was being held under a tree under arrest. Although as of right now, he has not been charged with anything. We want to make that very, very clear. Now, it was just a few minutes ago that we did see officers come out here. There is a car on the right-hand side. It is a little black sedan. They were searching the trunk of that car for what, though, right now, we are not sure. Now, we do have a very active scene out here. Obviously, word of his detainment has caused a media storm out here. On either side of me, I'm being sandwiched in by photographers and reporters. And we also have about 4 helicopters overhead, so this is a very active scene that we have. Again, though, we want to be clear, George Zimmerman at this point has just been detained. There have been no charges filed at this point, but as soon as we have an update for you, we'll bring you that either on air or online at abcactionnews.com. For now, though, we're live in Lake Mary. Jaqueline Ingles, ABC Action News.